Well, hello, friends, neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here, and welcome to On the Nook. Today, we're going to continue our exploration together in rye. A couple of videos ago, I kind of got into some ryes, and now I'm continuing that path. Today, I want to talk to you about Templeton Rye, certainly a staple, been around for quite some time, sourced, or is it still? I think this one here is for sure. And then I want to talk about Stellum Rye. New to me, I know it's been out now for a few years, but from the Barrelcraft group. So we've got a 45%er MGP rye, and then we've got another MGP, but with some other Kentucky and Tennessee rye blended in, both sourced. Little different target audience, right? This is a little bit more affordable, a little more available than the Stellum Rye, and then this is being more at cask strength, like a 58 type percent. It's going for a slightly different market, but both lots of rye. According to the mash bills that I have, they're certainly. This one is a 95 rye. This one's based on 95 rye. So, if you're interested in hearing some thoughts about Templeton and then Stellum, why don't you pour some rye? Come on back. 3, 4. Thanks for staying with me. I felt the intro was a little bit unfocused, but when we get into the whiskey, we'll be pretty focused. This is Templeton Rye, and it's notably not labeled a straight rye, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But for now, I know they started as a sourced, an Indiana MGP rye, bottled in Iowa, so they're built there and whatnot. I believe in 2017, they made their own distillery, so being a 6-year-old product, it could be theirs, but I'm quite sure, given the length of time bottles sit on shelf, I bought up here in Alberta, this is still the sourced 95.5 rye, bottled in Iowa, but so it's MGP, and it's 45.75%, I should say. And there is a little controversy on this one. I don't know about controversy, but insight into what might be going into this. I first want to nose and taste it with you. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about, it's not labeled a straight rye and what that likely means for what's in the glass. But let's first just see, how does this whiskey nose and taste? That's a sweet rye. It is both sugar and spice right up in the nose. We've got cinnamons, peppers, but a sweet, I'm probably going to say it all the way through, for me, a sweet oak that comes already on the nose, and we'll see if it carries through, but it's certainly been in my tasting notes before. Nice nose, kind of a candy apple, pear, so it's got that sweet fruit, sugar, and then, that spicing is already prickling on the edges. Let's go in. Cheers. In the palate, there is that balance. It's actually fairly peppery, spicy, nice rye, not as grassy as some, especially at a 95.5. I would have expected far more grass forward, but there is, mint or spearmint or a little bit of herbaceous notes, but it's not soured into a stronger pine or into, a higher grass. A little bit of citrus, a little bit of lemon in there. Nice peppering. Better try another sip. Cheers. It's on the second sip that I get back into that sweet oak. Still crackback pepper, fresh, light, lemon, mint. Nicely drawing on the palate. And it's in that, second sip and now early finish that I get an oakiness with sugar. So it's that sweet, toasted oak, which I like. I like Templeton Rye. It's tasty, it's nice, it's enjoyable. On and off offer. Of course, I hunt them down when they are on offer, so got a good price on this one, but yep, that is a tasty rye. I truly enjoy that rye, and I'm not really far into the bottle, so it's tough to rate now, but I've had it before, and before I'm about to say, I'd give it a 4 stars. It's a really enjoyable rye. Like, that's a good mark for me. And I can certainly recommend it from a flavor point of view. Here's a little trick. friend now, James from Sons of Vancouver, was talking to me about this rye and how he liked it. And then he was digging around in the background, and I'll put a link to an article that is, referencing Mark Gillespie in 2014, where he interviews the people behind this. And again, it's before their own spirit, so I don't know their own spirit, but it's very clear in that interview and in that article that there is flavoring in this rye. Now, what flavoring? I have no idea. Fake caramel, fake oak. I've no idea. It could be all natural things. It could be like natural flavors. It doesn't have to be artificial, but the point is, it's not just 95.5 rye distilled and put away in oak, and this is what we got. They've added something to this product. And they're allowed to. As long as it's not labeled straight or a blend of straight or whatnot, it's the straight part that requires there's nothing else in the glass. If it's just a 6-year-old rye whiskey, they're allowed to. So they can. And at least in 2014, so they did. I assume they do in this until they put it on the label somewhere or on their site that it's a straight rye. And then we can trust what we've got. Yes, I'm sure it's 6 years. They say that. At the time, they said it was sourced. I'm sure this is sourced. I'm sure it's a 95 rye. And it's tasty. I truly like this product. But if it has flavoring in it, that would knock it down for me for star value. I don't like coloring. I prefer non-chill filtering, but even filtering doesn't bother me as much as flavor additions, which is extra tough being Canadian, because a lot of Canadian whiskeys have other spirits in them and stuff, because we've got a 909% rule where we can do that in Canada. It's crazy. Anyways, this Templeton rye is a tasty rye. It's a good rye. If you're just looking for something to enjoy and see it on the shelf, go ahead. Enjoy it. It's good rye. But just know that very likely, and like I said, I'll put that link, there's some flavoring in here. So the second bottle that I want to talk to you about is this Stellum Rye, and it's actually new to me. I know it's been out for 2-3 years now, but it sits on the shelf at a little bit of a premium level, and I'm a little bit of a bargain hunter. The reason why I'm shooting it now is it's like $22 off at Wine and Beyond right now this month. So you have to buy it at that price. So I cracked this up, Stellum Rye. They have a bourbon as well. This is their regular released. So, it's from Barrel Craft, which makes some fantastic products, but those are like one-off batched releases. My understanding from this is that this is going to be a consistent flavor profile released over time. It's still strong, like 58.12%. So we've gone up quite a bit from 45%, 45.75. Anyways, so it's a stronger, but apparently it's going to be the same kind of flavor profile year over year, which is very interesting. The core of this, you go to their website, they talk about being a 95.5 Indiana sourced, and then they add to it some Kentucky and some Tennessee, which they say are barley forward ryes. They don't say how much, but they're clear in their blends that that's what this is. So let's get in, and I'll have to say, Barrel Craft's some of my favorite spirits. They're also priced in a premium level, and this is usually that, but as I said, if you're in the Alberta area, $22 off, something like that, might be time. But is the whiskey any good? This is a far richer nose. Yeah, there's some nice peppering and spicing going on, but I've got a sweeter fruit, stewed or cooked apples, so that some of that sweetness is coming up. Brown sugar, baking spices. So it's interesting because this lighter but sweet nose is potentially a little more what I'm expecting in a rye. This actually has quite a back brace of other spices going on. Very rich nose. Let's jump in. Cheers. That is really good. It's got good lemon, maybe even orange, cooked brown sugar, as I mentioned. It's got a little bit more now coming through in the palate. Rye spice, early finish, a little bit of mint. Better try another sip. Cheers. Oh, the second sip's even better. I do get some oak. Not the sweet toasted oak here. I get more of a charred oak mixed in with a good amount of spicing. I mean, we're at 58%, so some of that bracing on the tongue and hug is just, we got alcohol going on, but it's not harsh. It's not alcohol forward. I'm just saying the strength of it is there. This is really good. Really good. I am a person drawn to rye, so I like that there's a bit of grass and a bit of mint and a bit of lemon, and it's drying. Like, those are core rye characteristics for me. I think I should be, as I try every time I do rye, a little disclaimer, but I'm not gonna go disclaimer too far, because it's actually, I think whatever that Kentucky and Tennessee, barley forward really gave it, maybe mouthfeel, sweet, almost honey nut. That's not quite, but there's, now that I said that out loud, a little bit of honey nut going on in there. There is, for me. This is really, really good. And certainly in this comparison with the flavoring, this is down to 3.5. This is 4.25, 4.5. Certainly I like paying $22 less, so that was easy to buy. But I would say right now, I try to keep bottles around that I think are heading into Rye of the Year, and I bought another bottle of this Milam Greene. This Milam Greene right now for me has been phenomenal this year. It's the second bottle in. I'm going to keep it to open it around December, because this is in the running for, the best rye in that I've opened up and had for the first time this year. This is probably in that running too, and I'm going to enjoy editing this video and sipping this. Obviously, I've already had some drams of this throughout the week since I found it on sale. This is a really good rye. It has all the rye notes that I think people are looking for in terms of that nice citrus, little bit of mint. There's black licorice in here, and then you add, a charred oak. They said barley forward, but I'm going to talk about that as a slight nut, but not, I don't want to run into that like a roasted note with brown sugar, stewed apple, just some of those cooked flavors. I'm really liking this. Now, I only had it for a week, but it's been a great week. So I don't know what to say. Super Knox for anybody who puts flavoring in whiskey. This I know doesn't. The Barrel Craft group knows what they're doing. And certainly if you live in Alberta and like rye, I am recommending this. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Unpack this a little bit for me, maybe where they're going now with their new distillery. And have you had Stellum? What do you think of this idea versus just that, batch release that they're known for? Or just say hi. I really like hearing from you guys. Drop something down below. Thanks for joining me. Hope you're having a great weekend.